All right, so welcome everyone, member companies, to the Green Paw program. This is one of our premier visibility programs for the trade shows in particular, and a way of really celebrating the way that our PSC community measures what matters. And just real quick, this is Carta Elise with the Pet Sustainability Coalition. I am really here as the implementation manager to serve all of our member companies, and we'll say a bit more about that in just a moment, but this is what we are getting into with this quick webinar today. I want to offer you a little bit of context, the bigger picture around what we do, and we really do that as a community, and the Pet Sustainability Coalition is here to really help facilitate all of our member companies in engaging social and environmental strategies for business impact. We'll look a little bit about the Green Paw in particular, and then dive into some visibility best practices. So again, part of the bigger picture context here, and this is what the PSC is all about: accelerating your business through environmental and social impact strategies. And we really put business first because we truly believe that environmental and social impact strategies absolutely can have tremendous business results for you. And we see this over and over again. We have a growing number of case studies that document the ways in which we are working with you, our member companies, to drive innovation in the industry and really see business results. This is also a larger part of our accelerator, and you all are a part of that community. And so again, just some context. It all starts with measuring what matters. And as a B-Lab partner, we have a really easy to use quick impact assessment we ask all of you to take, so that we have that baseline benchmarked data on your performance. And then from there, we help you to identify action steps. We customize an action plan with a variety of different things that you can be implementing to both improve performance as well as elevate the good work that you're already doing. And finally, the Green Paw is a big part of sharing your success, and just one way that we really want to help you elevate your brand and elevate the innovative work that's being done to the rest of the industry. So we really are wanting to get the message out there to both buyers and consumers. So what exactly is it that we measure? And again, this is bigger picture context for you and your teams. Oftentimes when people think about sustainability, they might only consider recycling. But there is so much more to sustainability than just that. And the quick impact assessment that we use really measures what matters in these 5 different performance areas. So it's just something to keep in mind, particularly if you encounter folks that may have a more limited view of what sustainability might be. There's more to it. And all these dimensions come together to really support a whole business systems approach. You can learn more about these performance areas from our QIA webinar series, so that can be found on our website, so aside for future reference. And in terms of those multiple dimensions of sustainability, once again, I'm still wanting to just give you this broader context. This is from a Nielsen report that basically shows, particularly around millennials, they are willing to spend more on a company that is engaged in sustainability. And as you can see from these different dimensions here, it's not just about being eco-friendly. Health and wellness, natural and organic, has a lot to do with it. Commitment to community and social benefit is just as much a part of it. And being a trusted brand, you can be a trusted brand by taking responsibility for your impacts and showing buyers and consumers that you really care. So that's a part of what we do. So now, why the Green Paw in particular? And this was just a way that we wanted to create more visibility for all of our companies, all of our member companies as a community, to really show off the good work that you're doing, to inspire some conversation. We also make sure that we're sending out your company and booth number to our list of over 9,000 retailers. And in terms of a media campaign, we are stronger together. We're going to talk a bit more about that. The more of us work together to get the word out there and make this visible in social media, and have those paws on the trade show floor, the more buzz we can create, and the more we can elevate sustainability as an important business conversation that certainly more and more consumers are paying attention to, and retailers as well. So the Green Paw community, we are all about collaboration, and that's going to be the key to really driving visibility here. We're going to be able to engage more together than just individually, and the more impressions we can help elevate, the more we're going to increase awareness and credibility for this program, and for your particular brand, and that becomes exponential. So, if there's 35 member companies for this coming Super Zoo who are all going to be participating. So that's 35 big green paws across the trade show floor, as well as 35 potential social media accounts that are also making this visible, sharing the story, sharing the value. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's really dive in to the communications strategy here. So first and foremost, before the show, you can start to create some buzz. We are going to be providing you with a media toolkit that includes graphics. You can also pull booth pictures from last year or from Global if you've participated previously. And then we've customized a variety of different options for plug and play content. So we have Facebook, Twitter posts, and email content that you can then customize to your particular company, and then go ahead and plug that into your social media and email programming. And there are programs that enable you to do that in advance, so that once you're at the show, you're not having to worry about it. Of course, we want you to brief your staff team on what this is all about. And our hope with this particular webinar is that this is something you can share with your team, and they can learn not only that bigger picture context, but the real specifics of how to make the most of this program. And you want to incorporate that into your talking points, of course, too. And then we're recommending there might be some value in assigning one particular member of your team to just be the social media ambassador during the show, and making a post at least once a day, every day during the trade show, if not more, if they feel engaged and excited. If you have a millennial on your team who's already spending a lot of time on the social media. And then some other ways to really incorporate, some strategies to incorporate into some daily social media posting. Take pictures of your smiling staff. Use the graphics that we provide to you in the media kit. This person can also search hashtags and handles and increase traffic with other member companies that are doing the same thing. The more that we like and support each other as a community, the more that is going to be elevated in the conversation. It's going to be elevated, if we're using the handle for Super Zoo, it's going to show up more and more and more in the Super Zoo feed. So together we're stronger and we can make it bigger. And then finally, after the show, you'll want to share the story. Use pictures that you've taken, the graphics we've provided. We've given you email copy for after the show as well. You can even, if you've got some good statistics from your social media, you can also build that in and say, we had this much engagement. And you can also talk about the great conversations you had during the show in person. And now, what is the message that we're really trying to share? Measuring what matters is a really great way to encapsulate the goal of what we do. And this phrase at the top of the slide really kind of captures the three pieces: that we measure what matters, driving industry-wide innovation to improve those environmental and social impacts and achieve meaningful business results. And again, I want to emphasize that, you know, sustainability is not just a feel-good thing, and it's not limited to a single dimension, but it really is a whole business systems approach to meaningful business results. And that's really important to us in working with you as members. We don't want to engage any project that isn't going to have some meaningful business results for you. But we can also improve our environmental and social impact, so it's a win-win. So here's some other talking points, value propositions just to consider. You know, one, that you care about being a responsible business. We consider health of the environment and communities when making decisions. We're working collaboratively within the industry. You are serious about your performance and improving impact. And then, you know, in terms of market drivers, this is very much what the market is increasingly looking for. So this is a way that your brand is really helping to meet what the market wants, as well as benefit people and planet without compromising profit. That's really important. So a lot of information here, but hopefully helpful in providing you with a few different ways to think about and approach and internalize the work that you do in partnership with us, the PSC. So before the event, as I said, we have a variety of plug and play, you know, ready to swipe content for you. Here's just a few examples for Twitter and for Facebook. You always want to add a graphic or a picture. This does also help elevate your post in feeds. So, you know, a post without a picture is not going to get as much attention as one with a picture or a graphic. And then, you know, make sure you share it, you like it. Ask, you know, your team members who aren't at the trade show or your friends and your family to be paying attention and like those during the week. And that's going to help elevate traffic as well. During the event, of course, we also have some plug and play for you. And, you know, so 5 Twitter posts, 3 Facebook posts for you to plug in as you'd like, and also customize as feels accurate for you. And, you know, in terms of being on the floor during the event, you know, where you have a sense that your audience may be open to the conversation, be proactive. You know, feel free to ask if they noticed the Green Paw, if they're familiar with what the PSC supports companies in doing, and how that really demonstrates your commitment to measuring what matters, improving impacts, and getting business results. All right, so some more strategies for during the event. Ideally, your booth team is already prepped on talking points. Hopefully they have watched this webinar and have in their hands the talking points and media kit that I am going to share with you all afterwards. Of course, if possible, integrate those talking points into your sales script and morning check-ins. And I should say, we know that you as member companies have a lot that you are focused on communicating at the trade show. We know that there is a lot of foot for you. So this is just an opportunity to integrate what feels workable and be prepared to have the conversation if it comes up, or, you know, be able to be proactive in the conversation and have a sense of really how to speak to what we do. All right, and so in our dedication to continuous improvement at the PSC, some new things this year, the floor decals are now removable and can be reused if they're stored properly. I will say if you have carpet flooring, that may not be as reusable on carpet, but that remains to be seen. You know, we're really dedicated to that continuous improvement and sustainability. So this is one more step in that direction. We also have new product showcase decals. You can see the example from Paw 5 in the bottom right here. You can take those smaller decals and put them in the new product showcase. Also another opportunity to show your commitment. We have these digital images. The one on the bottom left here is our poster for this year. So just a fun way to integrate that into your social media. Of course, another new innovation this year, we're now asking that members update their quick impact assessment within 1 year of a given trade show. And that's because we really believe in measuring what matters, and we are here to support you in doing the same. And that to us is where elevating the visibility is connected in. We're also going to have much smaller Green Paw and PSC stickers for your name badge this year. So if folks walk right past that floor decal, don't even notice it, but they may notice some stickers on your name badge. Another way to just really elevate awareness of the program. And finally, something that is in the works, a recognition opportunity for member companies who are really actively engaged in improving performance every year. So there's a variety of different ways that companies can be engaged, anything from just staying up to date with our webinars to be educated on sustainability to fully fledged life cycle analysis, supply chain code of conduct, energy efficiency, retrofits. So there's a whole spectrum of ways for folks to be engaged, but what we're really looking for is engagement, and we are developing ways to give you even greater recognition opportunities for that with both bloggers as well as retailers. So stay tuned, more on that as things develop. All right, and then post-event, we also have some content that is ready to go for you. Just continuing the conversation, really celebrating the way that you and your team showed up and really showing that continued commitment that you have to measuring what matters and really making the world a better place for people, pets, and the planet. And finally, next steps. Make sure you share this webinar with your trade show team, integrate the talking points into the training and your script, assign a social media maven for the show, program that social media and email outreach in advance so you don't have to worry about it too much during, other than your social media maven taking some pictures and doing some live posting. And finally, if you haven't updated your QIA in the last year, just make sure you do so before the trade show. So finally, before I take questions, I just want you to know that I am really here as your member implementation manager. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to, brainstorm ideas. If you find yourself with an interesting question at the trade show, this is my mobile phone number. Please don't hesitate to shoot me a text or call me. I will be on the trade show floor every day, all day. And would be happy to swing by. And I definitely plan on swinging by whether I hear from you or not. I'm looking forward to meeting those of you that I haven't and catching up with those of you that I have. And so on that note, I just want to say first and foremost, thank you all so much for being a part of this community that measures what matters.